Hi, Michaela. Hope your Thanksgiving was okay. Um, okay, so I'm looking at the logos. I'm finally trying to get some grading done here. Um, Next time, maybe zip all these up in one folder and submit them that way. Just because there's so many files, I have to go in here and individually download them, and it gets kind of confusing for me. So, not a huge deal. I'm not going to count off for that or anything. But next time, if you have more than one or two files, just zip it and then submit it, so I can just download the one file at once. Okay, so let's take a look here. Um, just looking at your JPEGs and stuff. Let's see. So you moved it. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at. Here, let me pause this. Okay, so I got them all opened up in Illustrator. So it looks like you didn't outline your fonts on this one anyway. Maybe you did on this one. Oops. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this. Okay, maybe this is outlined. Okay. But this one is not. You can just go to Object, or is it under Type, Create Outlines, right here. Really quick. So I'm looking at this. This is your black and white version. I think that there needs to be more contrast between these two values. So, I mean, going into this gray and maybe just making it like 70% maybe, instead of whatever it was you had there, instead of 90. That would have been helpful, just because you need more contrast between the two. This needs to be outlined. I think your document color mode is correct. Your document setup is, let me move this over, it's 3x3. That looks good. So this one looks okay. I kind of think you need to go with not so many colors of gray on a black and white logo. It should just be black pretty much and then white. Sometimes you can use shades of gray, but I would try to shy away from that. That might kind of limit you on your logo. But just think, what if you wanted to print this in all white? Like if you were doing a screen print of this logo, if you wanted to print this in all white, that would be really hard to pull off with all of the different values in here. I mean, one way of maybe helping with that would be to just get rid of the fill color and then just keep this black, the stroke color black. I mean, obviously we probably don't want this extra line here. I think it's underneath, but we could potentially take that out. I just not quite sure why that's there, but we can probably fix that by just moving it. I can see you tucked it underneath maybe, but you would have to fix that, obviously, to get rid of this line here that goes over everything. Or we could just maybe fill these two shapes in with white, maybe. I'm kind of making a mess of this, and I apologize, but I'm not quite sure exactly how you constructed it. So, but maybe something like that. And then this shape would need to be filled in with white, just to kind of get rid of that. And then we'd have to bring everything else up to the front, which is kind of hard. Everything's in pieces, so we might want to group everything so that when we go to move it, it's not in so many different pieces. And I would just maybe just bring that up forward and group that. And then one of the problems, I'm missing a piece here. Yeah, there's definitely missing a piece. There we go. So missing a piece here too. So yeah, grouping things would be a good idea. Just Command G. And then in the properties panel, we can arrange these things to be, gosh, I can't see anything. Oh, maybe you can't arrange that, but you can do object arrange and then send backward. Object arrange, send backward. This needs to be grouped with this. So when stuff is grouped, it won't let you use the properties panel to arrange, but you can arrange it with the object arrange. Anyway, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I think this logo is tough. I'm having a hard time with that logo. I think this logo is way more straightforward. I'm liking this as a logo better. I think the background on this is problematic. And this text, I don't mind it, but maybe you could have put this on 2 lines potentially. I know I didn't tell you this in class, but I'm just looking at it one-on-one now. You know, this could be maybe not so much of a scripty font, but maybe more of like a sans serif, something a little bit more bold. Maybe not quite as bold as this is, but I mean, this is sort of along the lines of what I was thinking. And I don't dislike this font, but I think maybe if you wanted a script font, that's fine, but maybe go with something a little bit less scripty, maybe. I'm not loving this combination, but it's a little bit closer to something that I think might work okay for this. And this is still deeper on this edge than here. I know I'm kind of nitpicking this apart, and I'm not trying to be harsh, but I just think I think you did good on this one. I think this version here is just problematic, especially in the color. It's extra problematic because the purple and the black are so close in value. I think just keeping it simple is good. You know, this is really effective. I know it doesn't have any symbolism for like what you actually want to be doing with your business, but I think it's just more effective, and it would be easier to use on a multitude of different products, such as, you know, if you wanted to make promotional items like hats or t-shirts or pens. You know, it all needs to fit together. And actually, you know, one thing that could be done here too is this could go off to the side and you could left align it maybe. I'm not saying that looks better, and I'm not saying I love this font pair, but I think, you know, coming up with a different font pair would have been, just a font pair down here would have been a good idea. But overall, I do think it's a nice logo. You know, and one thing maybe that could be experimented with is just making, you know, a circle, putting that behind, and, you know, maybe making the rest of this kind of, making these white. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do with this logo, honestly. You know, you could put it in a circle, make it more seal-like if you wanted to. Like I said, this isn't the best font pair, but and this is deeper. You know, we did talk about that in person. I think maybe bringing these in a little bit, using probably the white arrow tool, pushing shift on the keyboard to open the anchor point, and then just shrinking them back a little bit would be, you know, beneficial for this logo, so that everything matches up okay. Would take a little bit of finagling, I think, but not impossible to figure out. Maybe something more like that. This is still not totally matching up, but I think just a few tweaks. I think that this is the stronger logo. The one with the wallpaper in the background is just, there's too much going on, and you can't shrink that down and put it on anything. Like, even if you wanted to make like a pop socket for a phone, it just would be too difficult with this logo here. But I do think this logo is a good logo. It has a lot of potential. It just needs a few tweaks. Anyway, other than that, everything looks pretty good. I looked at everything in Photoshop. Everything looks like you exported it out at high resolution, which is good. All your JPEGs are set to 300, which I like to see. And I think they're in CMYK too. Yeah, you did that correctly. So that's great. Yep. And so, yeah, good job, Michaela. I think that you have a good logo here. I just think this one is probably the better one. It's just more simple. It's going to be more usable on a variety of promotional items. And I think it's just more, it's just going to be easier for you to use, I guess. I don't know how else to put that. Okay, well, we'll talk to you later. Have a good rest of your break.